Hey guys, this is Kendra with Trust TV, and I'm back with another video. I wanted to do a quick video on this school supply list that a lot of parents are having an issue with. I just wanted to give my commentary. Each one teach one. This is for educational purposes only, and I just wanted to give commentary on this and why parents are mad about it. They're basically saying it in detail, but I'm gonna give my own, food for thought.
I want to say this since no other parent is saying it, and I'm definitely qualified because I have 5 children. I have 2 sets of twins and a teenager. I'm a parent who does not buy school supplies. Yeah, you heard me right. I do not buy school supplies, and let me tell y'all why. For one instance, I buy all these school supplies for my kids. They take some of it to school, and the teachers take all of the supplies and tell the kids don't write their names on it. What? That's supplies that I bought my kids. And no offense, I'm not trying to share with no other kid. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to share, okay? And this was before the economy got in. I bought it just for my kids, okay? So since they ain't giving me anything for my program, and then when they enter back into your program, I'm not buying nothing. Anything that my kids need to succeed, you provide everything, okay?
Just so we're clear, I'm expected to take a bullet for little Johnny and his classmates, but little Johnny's mother does not see it fit to provide for the community with some Clorox wipes, some tissues, maybe an extra pack of pencils. Like that's what we're going with.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my commentary on both parts. Now, first and foremost, it takes a village to raise a child, so I do believe that if you can, it should not be mandated, but if you can provide extra for other kids who may be less fortunate, there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem. The problem is not the parents. I know everybody's trying to come down on the parents because they don't want to share, right? You can't tell other people what to do with it's already hard to raise their own kids, like this woman is saying. She buys supplies for her own children, and to have to add extra money to that so that you could provide all together for other people's children, it makes it even harder. Now, I'm a firm believer in a community coming together to, help educate these children because it is needed. But here's my problem. Why is the government not giving these teachers enough money to be able to supply school supplies, wipes, and goods for these children in the first place? Why is the government not paying these teachers adequate salaries so that these teachers are able to work and take care of these kids? Y'all know it's already hard to teach these children. Why are they not they should be paid like some doctors are paid. The problem with America is America never really cared about the youth in the first place. And that's always been the biggest issue. All they cared about making is a bunch of factory workers. You can dumb them down, keep them complacent and compliant. And you want the parents who are already working 9 to 5s every day to support their family, doing what they got to take to dish out extra money, when it is the government, it is your governors, your mayors, who goes over these city and state budgets, whoever, over these city and state budgets for funding in schools all day, but instead y'all take all the money and y'all put it in these white schools and defund these black schools, or y'all defund all these schools to put them into the prisons where y'all don't even do them good. So now it's really just technically lining the pockets of your governor and mayors. Meanwhile, you got all these working people who are placing their children in your care to get adequate food and education, and y'all can't even get that right. And now the parents are being blamed and called selfish, when it truly is the selfishness of your Congress members who you guys vote for, who don't put the money where it should be in your educational budget for your children. They'd rather have a bunch of books about homosexuality and transgenders than to turn around and actually give your kid adequate supplies and cleaning supplies and things for your kids to thrive and be successful entrepreneurs when they grow up, or doctors. And then they whine about the lack of children wanting to do anything. You don't make these kids want to do anything. Look at how school is. It's set up like a freaking prison. It's set up not for these kids to be educated, but controlled. And that's what the problem is. There's no creativity in education anymore. They sit there learning a whole bunch of BS all day. That's why kids hate school. Y'all not innovative. Y'all not trying to find innovative ways to engage these children enough to make them want to be in school and learn. That's why I'm saying we don't learn anything. We learn all the bad stuff. The best people who got some of the best education is Asians. They do it correctly. It's even in Japan, these kids cry when they leave school. School is so good, that's where their community is. They have extracurricular activities that make them want to stay in school. Education is pushed. No, we want you to excel and thrive. We want you, because these kids don't understand that every decision they make from the moment that they are in kindergarten to high school will affect the rest of their life. Nobody tells them that. Nobody tells them that what they know or don't know will be held against them regardless if they know it or not. Our kids are not educated to know anything. They're just educated to be they're just indoctrinated. Our kids are not taught about law. Our kids are not taught about taxes. They're not taught about insurance. They're not taught about their how to use their credit. Our kids are not taught shit, but regurgitated bullshit. Math, they made math, added extra steps to math to complicate it. This is how our kids, they give them packets. The teachers are burned out because they don't make enough money, and you would have it, and the government has it so. You guys are better off just homeschooling your kids from YouTube than sending them to school. They get better education if you just kept your kids at home and did it yourself. My older sister, she still lets her kids go to school, but she's starting to pull them out too, because she realized that her kids learn better when she teaches them. They get better grades. They understand it more. They want to be there. They're engaged because all the kids around them are engaged in her household. I'm just saying, I think that y'all should boycott schools. Why? Because what's the point of them? If your kid is not getting the necessary education that's needed, and they're not even paying the teachers enough that these teachers want to stick around. And then some of y'all parents also, because I'm here to say, I can understand it I'm just giving food for thought. I can understand it from the parents' point of view of having to pay out extra money. But I also can understand it from the teacher's perspective, in the sense that they can't help that the government is not funding them enough to be paid. And that's why they're asking for these things. A lot of teachers are having to take it from their own salary. Now, you would think that somebody would try starting fundraisers for these schools to be able to get. It's sad that there even needs to be this. Y'all need to start petitioning y'all school. I say teachers should not. I don't go on strike. Petition the mayors and the governors to bigger your budget. Put your budget toward the education sector. It's something where you're not having to ask maybe we need to learn from what Japan is doing. Maybe we need to step back and see what they're doing with their children. Maybe we need to organize funding and things differently. You get what I mean? I don't know, but what I am saying is this is a little food for thought. Now, there should never be a time where anybody, if you can't afford it, there's Dollar Tree. Stop trying to get the best of the best of the best, sir. You get what I mean? Dollar Tree is there. If you don't have, it may be $1.50, and even it's starting to add up now because they're starting to make Dollar Tree not be Dollar Tree. But right now, while there's $1.50 for pencils, number 2 pencils, go to Dollar Tree. Stack up simultaneously before the year starts. That's before the school year starts. That's what I would do. I would stack up here and there. If I'm going in there for any reason under the sun, take $5. Go in there, buy some pencils, buy some notebooks, whatever notebooks they need. Buy some type of this, buy some type of that over time, or set aside. And I'm saying this for anybody because anybody could do this. Set aside a little money throughout the year before the school year starts. All parents, maybe the teachers shouldn't necessarily ask the parents to do this, but start a fundraiser and say, listen, the school year is coming in and we're going to need, $5 for to help raise for children who don't have notebooks, and go around and have the children just make up, fundraise for school supplies and cleaning supplies for the year. And once you have enough money, you go into Walmart. Have integrity. When you get the money, you count the money up. Don't have integrity. Save some of the money for the following year. And then when you go and fundraise, you'll have enough money. You get what I mean? The problem is in the integrity of the staff members. That's also one of the issues, right? Or you guys have, like, you know how they have those, or if you don't want money involved, you know how they have those for Christmas, they have donation ballots. Why don't you just have like a school supply donation ballot set outside and have people, if they have extra pencils and pens, you set out there and let people put some, extra pencils and pens in it. And you go collect it once it's full or whatnot or whatever, and you distribute it all throughout the school. Like anything where it's not too much of a strain on the parents and it's not too much strain on the teachers. But all in all, I feel like the parents and the teachers should get together and petition the states, governors and mayors, and sit down with them and say, what are we going to do about the problem that we're having with the teachers' pay and with the salary of the teachers, and also with the supplies that the teachers need to keep these schools afloat. Period. But I digress.
I have to make the ultimate sacrifice for the community, the school, but little Johnny's mother does not think that she has to make any sacrifices.
But the problem is, you as a teacher are not supposed to even be making a sacrifice. You have already given time and energy into coming up with the curriculum and teaching their children for those 7 to 8 hours that you have them. That should not be your job. That's what you don't understand. It shouldn't be your job. Thank you for being generous, but that should not be your job in the first place. That's the problem. That shouldn't even be your job. You don't get paid to supply the supplies for the school.
I just want to make sure I'm clear on
or maybe they need to just open up a whole bunch of boarding schools. I keep saying this. I used to want it to open up a boarding school because I felt like a boarding school would fare better than the regular schools that we have. I feel like boarding schools, number one, uniforms, because, maybe giving each kid 10 uniforms and 10, I love the way Japan works. Give them 10 uniforms for the year, not for the year, but for the semesters, so that they have at least started off with 10, as well as 10 gym uniforms, right? Shoes. I truly do not believe that children should be able to express themselves out. You can be able to express yourself, but I feel like that should be in your work ethic, in your academic achievements, basically in your academic achievements and extracurricular activities. That's what I feel like. I feel like the way that we are teaching children is trash. The school system has been broken in America, and I feel like it needs to be revamped. I think that children should wear uniforms, not no prison looking uniforms, but just to understand to dress professionally when you go into a professional workplace, right? This is what I feel like we need to get back into. Getting them not coming to school with bonnets, not coming to school with their hair all over the head, not coming to school in joggers. No, uniforms. The long pleated skirts, jackets, nice men, young boys and men in their suit and ties. It needs to go back to that. And then the only time you're wearing like joggers maybe is during gym time. In the winter time, you get the jogger pants, and then you get the shorts in the summertime, whatnot or whatever. If your school has summer time, whatever, or when you're going outside or going to events, there needs to be more extracurricular activities in schools, such as swimming, teaching kids how to swim, volleyball, all these type of athletic sports. It needs to be in every school. And I do think more schools, public schools included, need to be more like a boarding school than it needs to be like public school. Public schools are like literally trash because they're not teaching these kids anything, and they're taking the funding from public schools, putting them into charter schools, and even the charter schools aren't doing anything with the funding. They're defunding so many schools, especially in black communities, and this is where the problem lies. I don't believe the mother at the beginning is a bit, I understand her stance, but I do think it takes a village to raise children. And I feel like if y'all came together in a community and decided to say, okay, we're going to buy this amount of supplies. Don't individually buy your kids supplies. Don't. The only thing you should, if it's going to be, that's what I would do. And I'm just saying, food for thought. Don't buy your kids individual supplies. If your kid wants to like a pencil case, book bag, lunchbox, that can be individualized. But so that all y'all could come together, maybe y'all should just buy a whole bunch of school supplies and let the teacher divvy it out to every student, including yours. So that you're not buying a whole bunch of extra, including your kids, if that makes sense. And that's how you cut that down. I hope that makes sense. It's Kendra with Truest TV, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye.